Berceli. Hey, what's up? So, yeah, let me tell you everything that you need to know about me as a person. I recently found out that I can get the kind of high where they cut you off at Chipotle. Most people don't even know that's a thing, but then you find yourself going up there for burrito number 3, and that sad-looking kid behind the register, he goes ahead and makes a judgment call, and you just gotta sit down and think about a lot of things. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in a pretty good mood today. I had the day off. I don't have a lot of days off. Right now I work at a liquor store, and before that I worked at a brewery, and before that I worked at another liquor store, and if I live to 30, you're all gonna lose a bet. Like, what sucks right now is I work at like a classy liquor store out in Brookline, which sounds good, but like 3 times a day I'll have someone come up to me and they'll ask, can you recommend a good single malt scotch? And fucking no I can't, I work in a liquor store. How the fuck would I know what scotch tastes like? Like, I don't have dental insurance right now. You can't have one thing and not the other. It's kind of a package deal. Like, you want to know what vintage of PBR goes best with your parents' disappointment? Do that. That's where I'm at. I don't know. The other day I got to spend some quality bonding time with my dad, our annual father-son bonding session. That's where we do shots of well vodka and glare at each other in grim silence till the waitress at Applebee's gets all weirded out and tells us to leave. And he asked me when I'm gonna get a real job. I said he's had his job for 14 years. Why can't I get a job like that? Here's the thing. He's had his job for 14 years because he has a resume with marketable job skills on it. I, on the other hand, was once fired from bagging groceries. If you don't fully appreciate the gravity of that statement. Guys, if you haven't been to Market Basket lately, bagging groceries is the job you usually get after a head injury. Do you know how bad you gotta fuck up to lose that gig? I got fired because I dropped a watermelon on a baby. That's what it takes to lose that gig. Like, years later, I kind of traded up a little bit. I got to work for a publishing company. I was a proofreader there. That meant the only reason that I had a job was because they still haven't invented a version of spell check that works right. Which is kind of like how the only reason I can still get laid is because they still haven't invented a vibrator that tells you you're pretty. And I lost that job because I dropped a watermelon on a baby. It's funny because the first thing funny. I don't know, I feel like I'm coming to a crossroad in my life right now. Like, all my friends keep hitting all these milestones. I go on Facebook, they're all getting married, having kids, buying houses, and trying to figure out what my milestones are. It's like, found out you can't make chicken fried mayonnaise. It's not a real thing. Gotta quit trying to do that. Also found out the staff at the MSPCA gets all weird about it if you try petting one cat for more than 3 hours at a time. And I'm like, sir, you gotta leave, we're closed. Fuck you, me and Mr. Whiskers have a connection. I don't know, I think the closest thing I've come to a milestone is I got mugged a little while ago. I think I got mugged, I'm not even sure if I pulled that off right. What happened was I was coming back from a gig around Central, and I'm staggering back to my car back when I could afford a fucking car. And I've got tunnel vision. The amount of sleep I was getting is the amount of sleep they force you to get in Guantanamo, so you'll admit where the weapons cache is. That's where I'm at. I'm almost at the car, and this guy just lurches at me out of an alley, grabs me by my shirt, throws me up against a wall. And at this point, I'm weirdly calm. I've jumped right to the acceptance stage of dying, I'm facing the firing squad now, this fucking guy. And this guy was just some drunk townie who had one tooth left in his head, and it was so crooked it was pointing out of his mouth. He gave up on chewing food years ago. Now he just headbutts it into submission, goes from there. And he's leaning in close. I can smell the whiskey and sexual frustration. I'm like, all right, this is it. This is how it ends. And he says, do you have a cigarette? Which is a weird way to start a mugging, because he's already got me pinned against a wall. The mugging is underway. You don't have to break the ice. We're there. I gave him a cigarette, didn't want to get stabbed. He nodded, put it behind his ear. Then he shoved a hand into his coat pocket, and I knew what was coming next. He was going for the gun. If I was going to mug someone, personally, I would open with the gun. Didn't bring that up. Someone's mugging you, you don't criticize their technique. No one likes a backseat mugger. Guy didn't pull out a gun at all, though. He pulled out a $5 bill, which he then pressed into my hand, said, have a good night, and walked away. Stood there for 10 fucking minutes trying to figure out what just happened to me. thinking I might be the first guy in history to turn a profit off a mugging. The more I thought about it, I was thinking maybe it wasn't a mugging at all. It's just the only way this guy knows how to do business. Every store he goes into, just kicks the door down, pulls out a gun, like, all right, everybody, hands in the air. Do you accept competitors' coupons? And I feel like I should try and get my shit together right now. Like, I got that choice, you know. I can, like, go to grad school, find out what health insurance is like, or I could make peace with the fact that this is probably the most successful I'm ever going to be. Like, you don't want to admit to yourself that you might be realizing your full potential just by remembering to put on pants before you go outside. I think I'm there. Like, good example, the other day at work, I tried hiding a fart from my coworkers by turning up the headphones that I was listening to. And you can't do that and then later on be the CEO of something. You're on like a definite path for a very long time. You gotta know what you're in this world to do. Some people are here to lead, some people are here to follow. I think I'm here to make other people look good by comparison. Like, the way that works, let's say you're having a real shitty week at work, you're at the liquor store again, buying something you're not real proud of. And you don't think you have a drinking problem, like, per se, but it does run in your family, and, you know, you've been doing a little more and more lately, but not in the daytime, you got that, but you're getting a little worried, and also, what the fuck are you doing in data entry anyway? You're 26, you should have, like, 3 novels done by now. You're getting to the register, just feeling real bad about life, then you're gonna look up, and that's when you're gonna see me trying to buy a $1 scratch ticket with a Ziploc bag full of nickels. And you're welcome. I think I should get my shit together though. I've got a girl in my life right now, which is weird because I met her on OkCupid. And for any of you who haven't found that level below rock bottom just yet, OkCupid is a free dating site. It's a lot like Match.com, but for unemployed drug addicts with visible STDs. Like my whole thing, I was like, fuck it, maybe they'll name a disease after me. That's the best I'll get out of this. Let's do it. And I was dating people for a while on there, and I realized that there's a point where you realize you have nothing left to say to each other. And that point is exactly after the date where she tells you how intuitive her cat is. That's the end. Because after that, it's always stories about family. Like every girl I dated, they thought their family was the most fascinating fucking thing in the world. And don't let me spoil it for you, but it isn't. No one gives a fuck about your family. Because every story is something like, we went on a fishing trip, but my dad fell out of the boat. I'm paying for your drinks right now. Fuck yourself. Try and meet him halfway, though. I'm not a monster. Be like, all right, fine. Got my own family stories. So there I was, wiping the blood out of my eyes. My dad's trying to take the door off the hinges, and I'm thinking I could probably get to the knife in the dresser if I really dive for it. And I'm screaming, you gotta sleep eventually, you piece of shit! So tell me more about your uncle. That sounded fun. Let's do this. No, I did. I ended up with an amazing girl. Like, I do not deserve this girl. I am clearly the weak link in this relationship. If you saw us in public, we don't look like a couple. We look like a hostage situation. That's where we're at. A good example of that, she goes to school for mental health counseling. She works with at-risk kids in the city. She's trying to better America. I, on the other hand, routinely find myself alone in the supermarket buying nothing but Totino's frozen pizza rolls and personal lubricant. That's not contributing shit to society. Personal lubricant, that's the only item out there that just preemptively insults its entire customer base. Don't even pretend that's lube I might enjoy with a friend. That is all you, sad boy. You enjoy that empty apartment. Then there's Totino's frozen pizza rolls. I enjoy pizza rolls, but I don't think they understand their customer base at all. And a great example of that, if you ever look at the cooking directions on Totino's frozen pizza rolls, and I have many times because I have a rich and rewarding social life, you see that first line? It says, put 6 pizza rolls on a plate. And that's exactly where they lose me. Because Totino's, I'm a grown-ass man eating pizza rolls for dinner. Why the fuck are we worrying about portion control at this point in my life? I want to see honest cooking directions. Put 20 pizza rolls on a plate. You're supposed to cook them a minute for every 3 rolls. You don't have time for that math shit. Adventure Time's on. Put them in for a half hour or fucking whatever. Take your pants off. Go outside. Take a piss off the 2nd-story porch. Downstairs neighbor Pete's being a real dick about it. So go ahead, Pete. Call the cops. See if I care. Go back inside, get a text from Steve. Steve wants to know when you're going to pay him back the $200 he loaned you. Say, fuck you, Steve. You're not my real dad. Send a text to your ex-girlfriend. Drink that half a Bud Light you found under the couch last week. Say, you evil bitch, you ruined my life. Also, I wrote you a poem. Do you want to get coffee sometime? Then open up that microwave and get ready for the cheesy, savory goodness of Totino's frozen pizza rolls. Thanks, guys.